Well, hello. Hey, this is Doug, realtor here in Utah. We are talking about new construction and have been. And this week we've been really kind of focused on the new builders and the builders that are there. And one of the things we haven't talked about is the custom home. There are a lot of builders that do a fantastic job of just building 4 or 5 homes at a time. A lot of those are more in the luxury category, real high-end homes. And homes that are, just 6,000, 8,000 square feet, that kind of a category. But there are those that just build a standard home. And like I said, do a great job. So how does that happen? How does that work? Well, so the first thing is that you, as the builder, person buying the new home and so on and so forth, is going to look for a couple different builders to kind of get a feel for who you want to build your home. You can do that by, asking some friends. You can get with your real estate agent and see who they know. You can go tour some properties that you like, and just ask people that live there if they who built their home, those types of things. So there's always ways to do it. And then typically, and everything is always different, so we'll say typically, what you do is you go make an appointment, you sit down with the builder, you talk about the lot that you have, or if you want them to buy a lot and kind of do all of it. You kind of talk about that, and then you start looking at plans as far as what you would like, and whether the builder has plans already done that that he's built before that you could use, or if you have just a unique idea that is going to be yours. I was in a house, not on a luxury tour a month or so ago, and underneath the garage, they had an 8-car garage, and then underneath the garage, they had actually built a soccer arena in there. And so they had an indoor soccer facility underneath the garage. So it was unique, and not something that your standard box builder, that's going to build the whole subdivision is going to do for you. Anyway, so with different things that you want to custom-wise, if it's really custom, they'll sit down and draw it up, and you'll go back and forth with this different meetings discussing, is that right? Is that, do you want the wall here? Do you want it over there? Do you want it longer, shorter, taller, whatever. So you just have different meetings that way until you get the plans right. Once you get the plans right, and again, typically they'll ask you to sign off on the plans so that way everybody's on the same page, and that down the road after it's built, if you come back and say, hey, this wall's too short, then they're going to go back to the plans and say, you signed off on it, this is what it says, and there you go. Anyway, so once you get the plans signed off, there are things, they've got to get the building permits, they've got to, get it approved through the city, and those types of things, so that everybody's ready to go and can hook up water. Making sure you have water and access to it is a good thing. And once you get to that final step there, or kind of, then they're ready to start building. Again, with a custom build, most of the time it's going to take a little bit longer, because it's not I don't want to say cookie cutter, but it's not something that the builder's doing 40 of, and so they can take their framers and go from house to house to house to house, and the framers know exactly what the design is, and it just is repetitive. You know, in a custom home, everything is individualized, and so it is, you know, the framers have got to stop, they've got to measure and cut and make sure that the walls match the plans, and everything has to match the plans. So typically, again, it's a little slower. Another thing with those is, even though they are a little bit slower, they really do turn out to be absolutely beautiful, because I think, in my opinion, they take a little bit more time, and so it just seems like there's a little bit more care to the details, and those little details make a big difference. To do this, you know, kind of that custom build process, again, is going to be more expensive, because you're doing one versus, you know, one of the big builders that's doing a subdivision of 100. And so just from the scale of things, it's going to be more expensive. But you're going to be able to get exactly what you want in that house. You know, if you want the soccer stadium underneath, if you want to, you know, I've seen a house with a basketball court in it. You know, whatever those things are, then those can really be a benefit to you, because it will be your house when you're done, and only your house. The one thing I will caution you is, as you're doing something like this, you do need to think about the sell of the home. You know, yes, you want to be able to get exactly what you want, but you also need to think about that, you know, what's going to happen when I sell it. A great example of this is I was in a house, built a 12,000 square foot house. It had 2 mother-in-law suites, beautiful home and big, but between the kitchen and the family room, they had put a 5-foot round granite boulder there when they built the house, because the builder, or the owner, wanted to make sure that his family knew that his house was built upon a rock. You know, again, that's great for him and his family, but now that he goes to sell it, who wants to buy a house with a 5-foot boulder sitting between the kitchen and the family room? And what do you do with it? You know, do you blow it up? I mean, have somebody come in and chisel you, you know, a president's face? I mean, what do you do with it? And so that's an example of, you need to make sure that you think through the selling side of it, as well as, you know, getting exactly what you want. So anyway, there's, like I said, fantastic custom builders out there that do a great job. Happy to get you connected to 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, whatever needs to be done. But enjoy your house. Let's get you into a house and get you starting to build it, and get you exactly what you want.